Let's go to the last part.
No,
Let's go to the last part.
Pastor J, I want to get a tattoo.
You really
respond
wanna
to me.
respond
Respond to
to
me
you?
how you would respond to me.
The first question I'll ask is why?
Controversial taboo topics.
We get so consumed by church, we forget that we have to live the life of being a Christian outside of the Sunday.
Like you say,
services.
we think going to a service makes us a Christian.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right. So here we are about to hear the second time Pastor J wanted to take a tattoo.
Would have been late last year and early this year.
Oh gosh.
Hope Unfiltered podcast with Pastor J and Ren.
In this day of stay-at-home and work from home, home has never meant more than it does today. Whether you're looking to buy, rent, or build your new home, now is the time to get going. Gittins & Gittins real estate agents are here to take you to that place of your dreams. Let us take you home. We'd help you find that rental to rest along the way or journey with you to find your home destination. Investors and commercial enterprises too, call us and we'll walk the distance to place your business in just the right location. Owners, leave the headaches to us. We'll find your tenants or buyers while you stay at home. We'll even manage your property at your bidding. Anything real estate, come home to Gittins & Gittins Real Estate. Call us at 760-3280 or 747-1220 or visit us at 16 Fifth Street in Woodbrook.
Remember waking up early just to catch your favorite cartoons? WESN brings back those magical mornings with Retro Saturdays.
Thus, the Powerpuff Girls were born!
Where the young at heart relive the fun. Join us every Saturday from 8 a.m. to 12 noon, only on WESN, the content capital.
Are you driven, ambitious, and ready to earn? WESN, the content capital, is expanding, and we're looking for dynamic media sales executives to join our team. Sell powerful advertising solutions across television, digital, and social media platforms, and help brands tell their story. If you have strong communication skills, a passion for sales, and the drive to succeed, join WESN today. Send your CV to marketing@wsncc.com or WhatsApp 6861662 and start building your future.
WESN.
Now, people.
Maybe he landed here totally by coincidence. But if by chance he's admiring your fresh coat of Benjamin Moore soft sky blue, well, that's a pretty high compliment. Coming from an expert.
Knowing how to tell authentic is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Find it, match it, search it. Step 1. Find the style number on the tag. Step 2. Match the style number inside the jersey with the number on the tag. Step 3. Search it. A quick Google search of the style number will verify the jersey is authentic when the search results match the jersey being searched. Don't be fooled by counterfeit jerseys. Before you buy, remember to find it, match it, search it.
Fan Zone, 2 locations nationwide. Center City Mall, Chaguanas and Movietown, Port of Spain. Nationwide delivery available.
Hi, I am Emiliana Beechan and I am a mental health and conflict resolution consultant. Welcome to Mind Matters, the show where we explore the intricate world of mental health and the art of conflict resolution. Join us as we hear from mental health professionals, conflict resolution experts, and everyday people who have transformed their lives through understanding and communication. Mind Matters, WESN Content Capital.
Stroke is a leading cause of death and disability worldwide. Globally, 1 in 4 adults over the age of 25 will have a stroke in their lifetime.
Usually you would then have a conversation with the relatives, let them know exactly what's the status, what you were thinking.
We are not really ignoring them. We are acting on the patient at hand, after which we tend to communicate to them.
Yeah.
Are you driven, ambitious, and ready to earn? WESN, the content capital, is expanding, and we're looking for dynamic media sales executives to join our team. Sell powerful advertising solutions across television, digital, and social media platforms, and help brands tell their story. If you have strong communication skills, a passion for sales, and the drive to succeed, join WESN today. Send your CV to marketing@wsncc.com or WhatsApp 68-61662 and start building your future.
WESN.
Your host for our Throwback Thursday show. As Trinidad and Tobago commemorates and observes Indian Heritage Month and prepares to commemorate Indian Arrival Day on May 30th, attention is being placed on our ancestors, our stories, and our Indian culture. In today's TNT's Landmark Changes segment, we discuss the history and story of Nelson Island. It's located in the Gulf of Paria. The island served as the main immigration depot and quarantine station for thousands of Indian indentured laborers who arrived in Trinidad between 1866 and 1917 in search of a better life. Often referred to as the Ellis Island of Trinidad, Nelson Island became the first point of contact for many whose sacrifices and contributions helped shape the nation we know today. Felicity Endeavour Councillor Sandra Suku joins us this morning to take a closer look at the island's history and why preserving its story remains important generations later. Good morning.
Pleasant good morning to each and everyone here. My name is Sundar Joku, Councillor for the Electoral District of Felicity Endeavour.
Thank you for joining us this morning, Mr. Sundar. Now, for those who may be unfamiliar with our history, what exactly was Nelson Island's role during the indentureship period?
Nelson Island, for those who are unfamiliar with it, from 1866 to 1917, as you had mentioned, Nelson Island served as a primary landing quarantine processing depot for Indian indentured laborers arriving in Trinidad and Tobago. Remember, these are the people that our forefathers that they convinced to come to the island, Trinidad and Tobago, for a better life. And they made the journey through the Calamani to get here.
Yeah. And can you just expand a bit more and, tell us why was Nelson Island referred to as the Ellis Island of Trinidad?
Okay, Nelson Island is called the Ellis Island of Trinidad and Tobago because it served primarily as a quarantine station and reception center for Indian indentured, immigrants. Just as, Ellis Island is the gateway for millions of immigrants to the United States of America. So basically, it is a similar accommodation like Nelson Island as Ellis Island. So hence the reason Ellis Island as well.
Wow. And can you tell us about the conditions migrants face while staying on the island?
Oh, well, honestly, Indian indentured laborers arrive here first. The first time, this was a station that they brought these people, again, for processing, quarantine, inspection. When we use the term inspection, we're looking at who is sick, who's not that sick, and how could we put them into the island. It was cramped. It was a very small, and while I'm saying this, it would be a phenomenal experience for each and everyone to really visit Nelson Island and look at the accommodation, what our forefathers went through when they thought they were coming for a better life. The accommodation was very small, very tight. There are artifacts there that we really need to go and look at and really, really figure out how so much people at once coming to this little island. It was really, really hard.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
And even approximately, how many Indian laborers passed through Nelson Island between 1866 and, that 1917 timeline?
Well, that is a big figure, right?
Yeah.
Between 1866 and 1917, approximately 114,000 immigrant laborers had been processed on Nelson Island. And when you think of that figure, imagine how small Nelson Island is, and these people have to go there first before they come to the mainland.
Wow. And can you even share with us how significant was the arrival on the Fatil Razak in shaping the nation's history?
You know, this is a ship that I believe everyone knows the name Fatal Razak. You know, the Fatal Razak on May 30th, 1845 is considered, you know, the single most significant landing in our, you know, in our island, Trinidad and Tobago. You know, it might be something, you know, we would be talking, and when we think about the history and the significance, as you had mentioned there, it is a sign of multicultural, multi-identity of Trinidad and Tobago. The Fatal Razak made its voyage to there, and the people that came out, they didn't expect to go through what they were going through. So that in itself is a great significance, you know, to considering, you know, the single most significant voyage.
Yeah. And to even tie in and make the connection, would you say this is one of the reasons why also, you know, Nelson Island is considered such an important historical site in Trinidad and Tobago today?
Yes. Nelson Island, right? As I say again, because of the history that it holds, you know, we need to really, really preserve and promote part of our history, you know.
Yes.
There's effectively promoting Nelson Island in Trinidad and Tobago, balancing the structure, conservation, and, you know, digital outreach. These are some of the things we really need to do to really promote Nelson Island. And we having a lot of tourism taking place as well.
Yeah.
It's part of our history, and this is something that we really, really need to really pay attention to.
Absolutely. And can you share with us what contributions did Indian indentured laborers go on to make after leaving Nelson Island?
Well, I think in today's modern world, we will see the contribution. After leaving Nelson Island, Indian indentured laborers, you know, they descended and went on to what we would say reshape the economy of Trinidad and Tobago. After their indentureship, a lot of East Indian had started what they really wanted to start as businesses and grew into larger families and make here, because they already landed here and they decided to do what they can to survive. In today's modern world, we have a lot of persons, despite their ethnicity, plan to survive, and they do what they have to do, what is necessary, and they did such great work. We have, if you take a look at Trinidad and Tobago today, a lot of the successful businessmen, historian, V.S. Naipaul for writing book, you know, he got a Nobel Prize for literature in Trinidad and Tobago, and these are some of the things that we have to be proud of. A simple thing in our local economy today, we have like the Bagwansin groups of company, we have Extra Foods, we have the Passats, and the list can go on. You know, and that is what really shaping part of our history today.
Yeah, definitely. And connect with me and, you know, share, are there still physical remnants or artifacts on the island that, you know, connects us to history today?
Yes, definitely. After leaving Nelson Island, you know, Indian indentured laborers, they, you know, still their physical remnants, their significant heritage site, you know, featuring several physical remnants and artifacts from its history. And some of the structure there, you would not imagine that, you know, the government take pride in keeping it and maintaining part of the structure that is still existing there. And if we look back, we would not just see our Indian diaspora was held at Nelson Island.
Yeah.
You know, Tuba Uriah Buzz Butler was held there as well in the Black Power movement days, you know. So it really, really, you know, have a lot, and we really need to take care of it to remind our future of what it is we went through.
Yeah.
Or our forefathers, sorry.
Why would you say it is important for younger generations coming up to learn about, you know, Nelson Island and the indentureship experience?
Learning about Nelson Island is crucial for the younger generation to understand their heritage, as it served as a primary quarantine and process station for Indian indentured laborers. You know, it fosters sense of identity, pride, appreciation for the sacrifice that shaped modern Trinidad and Tobago multicultural society.
Yeah, absolutely. And how does Nelson Island, you know, help us better understand the struggles and resilience of our ancestors?
You know, as I had mentioned before, visiting the island and standing there for just a couple seconds in that quiet moment and just stand at the center and gaze around, you know, you will understand how, you know, really, really keeping those remnants and physical structure. Yeah. Nelson Island, remember, served as a physical archive of, you know, what we would say psychological and physical trial endured by these indentured, you know, our ancestors, while showcasing their survival and adaptation in our country. So knowing that they came in a cramped space, and when we look at it and what they endure, maybe to stand up next to each other, or however they did it, we try to put ourselves into this modern world, fitting up in that position, and definitely it wouldn't happen. We love space. So this is what we need to do, you know, to keep whatever physical structure there and preserve it.
Yeah. And now you started touching on it a bit, so maybe just expand. In your view, how should Trinidad and Tobago continue, you know, preserving and promoting this part of our history?
Right. Which we already started. Yes. And, you know, we have a lot of keepers there, I would say. I would use a better word, you know, where they are responsible for taking care of the building. Recently, Todd, it was mentioned about off-the-grid technology. They have solar energy there on the island, and they are working on getting the infrastructure a lot better. And in doing so, the Prime Minister, our Prime Minister, Kamala Prasad Bisesa, SC, MP, had mentioned that definitely a lot is going to be done on this island to preserve the actual remnants that are there right now for our future generation.
Yeah.
And you know, working through NGOs and a lot of persons involved, definitely, it will be something phenomenal, and definitely we would appreciate what is to be done there.
Yeah.
I am very sure you heard that there are circulating right now presently asking about the renaming of Nelson Island. And I'll go a little more into details.
Yes.
As we are not rewriting history, but we are trying to get our culture, Trinidad and Tobago, as we own and we remarked. Just like when we did the Wendy Fitzwilliam Boulevard, and also, you know, King George V Park, we call it Nelson Mandela Park today.
Yeah.
So I think it is only fitting that our Prime Minister had said that she will give the general public And when she used the general public, she knew every and anyone an opportunity to voice their opinion on what they think it should be renamed. And I think the idea of Arrival Island sounds pretty good, because that is what it happened. That is what happened. That is history. Arriving on that island. So there's a lot to be done, and definitely corporate Trinidad and Tobago should get on board as well.
Yes.
And work with us to really, really, keep this part of our history alive.
Yeah. Definitely. And you mentioned, visiting. So persons may be watching on and, they're wondering how do they get to visit, the Nelson Island? What a form of transport or arrangements can be made?
Right.
I know go ahead.
Presently, to get to the island, we have the water taxi service.
Okay.
And we really need to reach out to our tourism, and part of our tourism to really, really, how I should put it, to make that arrangement to get to the island. And it's really, really important for us to pay a visit. It will definitely, how I should put it, boy, create a local and international tourism hub where, just like in Staten Island, people would go to visit, we have Nelson Island.
Right.
And we definitely would have to work with the board to really enhance that viewing to the public and create that awareness. Sorry, excuse. I apologize for that day. Yes, so, yes, as I was saying, so definitely getting that on board, and through the heritage, the sites, we will definitely create that avenue for people to visit the island, make it popular.
Yeah.
And as I said, the Prime Minister is working and doing a lot and collaborating to get it done. And definitely we will take it forward. And I would recommend that each and every one of us take that opportunity to visit the island. It is really amazing to really spend some time. Other than that, the lush trees and what is left there to see the hardship that these indentured went through.
Yeah.
It is really, really amazing.
Wow, just wow. And I could imagine, because, when you started sharing, visiting the island, and when you set foot and, being able to see everything, it really does have that shift in mindset. And maybe when persons visit, we can appreciate it more and, appreciate our history more. So it does go a long way. Thank you, Mr. Sanka, for coming on this morning and, leaving that important, insightful message and sharing with us about our history.
Yes, and this is the month of where we celebrate our ancestors and historical month. We reflect, and if you notice, as we proceed for this month, you will see a lot of events taking place throughout Trinidad and Tobago, and definitely I would really, really like that each and everyone, go and support these events. This is what we are about, and this is, as a people, we need to really, really support each other and find this unity where every creed and race finds an equal place in Trinidad and Tobago. And we always promote that sort of camaraderie. If we look throughout Trinidad and Tobago, throughout the world, you will see that there's so much of violence and negativity among, how should I put it in a nice, casual way, where we find ourselves religiously in turmoil or in this race behavior,
Yeah.
And in Trinidad, we have a melting pot of culture where you and I are our brother's keeper, and we unite despite what it is happening throughout the world. And that in itself, create a harmony and a love that people must understand and appreciate Trinidad and Tobago. Yes, there are certain elements there that would try to disrupt, but we have to stand strong as a people. Thinking about the struggles that we went through, this whole Nelson Island historical landing point, tell us about a struggle that we went through.
Yeah.
And we can learn from that, where our forefather, well, you know, they have the saying, Jahaji Bai, you know, where we come together as one. Because in the barracks, there were both races there, and they united and live as one. And why can't we do that today into this present world?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And I'm talking about the world at large. Yes, we have that love and culture in Trinidad and Tobago, and we will continue. And as we celebrate Indian Arrival Day on the 30th of May, you know, I take this opportunity to extend to each and everyone a happy Arrival Day. In Shoguana's Felicity endeavor, alongside with MP Jillian John for MP for Couva North, we will be hosting Indian Arrival program on the 31st of May at the Petersfield Recreation Ground. And why I'm saying so, we will have something called an archive booth, where we will be displaying some of the tools and instruments that our forefathers brought from India, and we will have those things on display, while you will get an opportunity, each and everyone will get an opportunity to make a roti for yourself.
Wow.
And we will definitely have stuff to go with it. You know, it is an experience, it's something different from the regular showcasing, you know. And what we call it in Hindi, Pitri Deva Mas, what it really means is honoring our ancestors. So we do have something, you know, set. It really would be nice for everyone to come and join and take a look at our archive booth and into the celebration, where we came from and what we are today as a people, you know.
Yes.
And I want to definitely thank you for giving me this opportunity to, you know, express my views on Indian Arrival. And you know, as we mentioned, that there's one thing I think you're aware of. When I went to the island, I stopped to take a picture at a sign. And looking back at the picture, you know, you like to edit and look at the pictures.
Yes.
In doing so, I saw my, I would say, great-grandfather name on that, was the first name on that list.
Wow.
And that is a moment that I would treasure, I think, for the rest of my life, because at first I didn't think I would have seen any name as such. But that was amazing, and all because, you know, the Prime Minister took us on this trip. And not just us, the Indian High Commission did their Indian Arrival program on the island, and they took us, and we were just fortunate to be part of that team that went across. And it was really, really amazing to see the name and knowing that it's part of your roots and your culture there. And I will always hold that island dear to my heart. And again, for the people who are viewing, our audience in Trinidad and Tobago and wide and far, please do visit the island and look at that register and see if you see any of your ancestors' name. It just may be there as well.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sanka, for coming on this morning and leaving that wonderful message you left with us, and even sharing about the upcoming events. Around that time, we could probably, you know, play it back. And could you give us a time as well for persons to come out and, you know, be a part of that experience on the 31st?
It will start at 2 p.m.
2 p.m.
in the afternoon, and we will be going all the way till maybe about 8 o'clock. We have a lot of cultural entertainment. And when we say cultural entertainment, we are not saying that we are going to bring the best band. Our bands do a fantastic and phenomenal job. But I'll tell you this, Honorable Minister Jillian John want to keep it cultural. Cultural meaning our folk singers, our like what we would say today as our chutney singers, our classical singers. These are the people she would like us to get to entertain the visitors there. So we're going all the way back to our roots, and we will be honoring some of our pictures, meaning our forefathers, on that particular day as well. So from 2 p.m., we will have lots of entertainment. We will have games for the kids. I believe we're trying to get some rides as well for the kids. There will be a lot happening on that day. And as I say again, you know, you come and you try your hand on making a roti for yourself. The roti that you make is yours. And we have professional roti makers there to guide you. And when you're done, you get your whatever type of curry that they have. I'm not going to tell you what curries they're going to have, but we're going to have some. And when you get there, I know definitely you will enjoy it.
Yeah. Definitely. Thank you so much, you know, for having this conversation with me this morning and sharing on our history and even on the upcoming events that is happening that we can all be a part of. It's important that we take this time to really try and appreciate what our ancestors went through so we can have what is Trinidad and Tobago today and be a part of this. And guys, you know, it truly is something to think about, helps you change your mindset when you really appreciate our ancestors. Now, we are about to take a short break, and when we come back, we have more engaging conversations, so stay with us.
If these walls could talk, they'd cry uncle. They didn't plan to become offices or yoga studios. But they've stood by us, even when we got a little stir-crazy. For that, they deserve some thanks. They deserve Benjamin Moore.
You are watching Strictly Legal on WESN Content Capital. Just give an overview of what exactly is that split arrangement.
Nah, you don't need to register nothing. You don't need, we can do that another time. But then it becomes a hit, and then everybody starts to want to claim.
The laws that predate many of the independent countries' constitutions are going to be those colonial laws.
We know there are an infinite amount of circumstances that would lead to a murder.
I have a great idea and, you know, I have a great concept, but until it's actually expressed, it does not become intellectual property.
Accomplishments or targets of a forensic accountant is to quantify what may have been lost.
We believe we defend criminals and we manipulated the law and we exploiting the system.
A responsible journalist will reach out to the person who they have the information on for a comment.
Knowing how to tell authentic is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Find it, match it, search it. Step 1. Find the style number on the tag. Step 2. Match the style number inside the jersey with the number on the tag. Step 3. Search it. A quick Google search of the style number will verify the jersey is authentic when the search results match the jersey being searched. Don't be fooled by counterfeit jerseys. Before you buy, remember to find it, match it, search it.
Fan Zone, 2 locations nationwide. Center City Mall, Chaguanas and Movietown, Port of Spain. Nationwide delivery available.
This is Face of Sports, WESN Content Capital. How you felt about the kiss on the lip?
That's the business. I'm nothing to do with that.
I find that was distasteful.
The national senior team, whether you like it or not, that is the model for all other teams to follow.
I'm assuming that the regional requirement may be a much stricter requirement.
This is not about Pro League and Super League. This is a league run by the Normalization Committee that I'm responsible for.
Nobody expected FIFA to fund this arrangement.
If we don't get a professional attitude towards this, we are doomed for failure.
You break a balance, trip the leg, control the body.
They ain't gonna stand put forever.
Why you want the Chiefs to lose so? Why you want the Chiefs to lose so?
They already have two. Lamar don't
Why?
have.
You're jealous because you know the Chiefs getting closer to the Patriots. Let's go to the last part.
No,
of the game.
not no.
Let's go to the last part.
This is 10 Questions. I'm Andy Johnson. The distance from where we should be in the world in going forward on our commitments with climate change.
The effects of climate change that cannot be accounted for. It's called loss and damage, and we're seeing loss and damage happening so much more in this decade and the previous decade.
The principal term there was this question of the correspondent banking issues.
That is why we're trying to build capacity with this country here, Trinidad and Tobago, and other countries in the region.
Man is not showing any signs of stopping or even slowing down. More than half of the forest in Trinidad is already gone.
All the plants and all the animals and all of the nice clean water and fresh air and everything had to be on this planet for humanity to have a chance.
We have small change when it comes to countries that can take decisions, and when they speak, the world listens.
The General Assembly is a very democratic forum. And Trinidad and Tobago has the same vote as Canada, in spite of the obvious difference in size.
Take some time for yourself or spend some time with the family at Sandy Point Village Hotel. Enjoy our various studio and suite apartments, self-contained with their own kitchenettes and Wi-Fi. We also have our famous 100-foot swimming pool and our beachfront restaurant, The Steak and Lobster Grill. And our location in Crown Point puts us near the center of activity from the nylon pool to the local nightlife. Call us and make your reservations at 639-8533, 389-2378, or email us at sandypointvillagehotel@gmail.com.
Hi, I am Emiliana Beechan, and I am a mental health and conflict resolution consultant. Welcome to Mind Matters, the show where we explore the intricate world of mental health and the art of conflict resolution. Join us as we hear from mental health professionals, conflict resolution experts, and everyday people who have transformed their lives through understanding and communication. Mind Matters, WESN Content Capital.
Stroke is a leading cause of death and disability worldwide. Globally, 1 in 4 adults over the age of 25 will have a stroke in their lifetime.
Usually you would then have a conversation with the relatives, let them know exactly what's the status, what you were thinking.
We are not really ignoring them. We are acting on the patient at hand, after which we tend to communicate to them.
Yeah.
Pastor J, I want to get a tattoo.
You really
respond
wanna
to me.
respond to
me
you?
how you would respond to me.
The first question I'll ask is why?
Controversial taboo topics.
We get so consumed by church, we forget that we have to live the life of being a Christian outside of the Sunday.
Like you say,
services.
we think going to a service makes us a Christian.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right, so here we are about to hear the second time Pastor J wanted to take a tattoo.
Would have been late last year and early this year.
Oh gosh.
Hope Unfiltered podcast with Pastor J and Ren.
This is Face of Sports, WESN Content Capital. How you felt about the kiss on the lip?
That's the business. I'm nothing to do with that.
I find that was distasteful.
The national senior team, whether you like it or not, that is the model for all other teams to follow.
I'm assuming that the regional requirement may be a much stricter requirement?
This is not about Pro League and Super League. This is a league run by the Normalization Committee that I'm responsible for.
Nobody expected FIFA to fund this arrangement.
If we don't get a professional attitude towards this, we are doomed for failure.
You break a balance, trip the leg, control the body.
They ain't gonna stand put forever.
Why you want the Chiefs to lose so? Why you want the Chiefs to lose so?
They already have two. Lamar don't
Why?
have.
You're jealous because you know the Chiefs getting closer to the Patriots. Let's go to the last part.
No,
of the game.
no.
Let's go to the last part.
In this day of stay at home and work from home, home has never meant more than it does today. Whether you're looking to buy, rent, or build your new home, now is the time to get going. Gittins & Gittins real estate agents are here to take you to that place of your dreams. Let us take you home. We'd help you find that rental to rest along the way or journey with you to find your home destination. Investors and commercial enterprises too, call us and we'll walk the distance to place your business in just the right location. Owners, leave the headaches to us. We'll find your tenants or buyers while you stay at home. We'll even manage your property at your bidding. Anything real estate, come home to Gittins & Gittins Real Estate. Call us at 760-3280 or 747-1220 or visit us at 16 Fifth Street in Woodbrook.
The home of Caribbean content is growing and we welcome you to be a part of the #1 platform for young personalities who are driven to make a positive impact in society. As we continue to reach every corner of Trinidad and Tobago through our daily broadcasts, our social media pages, or through our 75+ digital billboards across the nation, contact us to learn about our competitive rates via marketing at wesncc.com or call us at 628-5835. WESN Content Capital, television with a difference.
Welcome back. The Trinidad and Tobago Cadet Force celebrated a major milestone on May 3rd, making 116 years of discipline, leadership, and national service. Earlier this month, cadets, officers, and supported gathered at the Immaculate Conception Chapel at St. Mary's College for the Force annual interfaith service, reflecting on more than a century of commitment to God and country. Let's discuss more in our Time Shift segment. What began as a small military-style youth organization has grown into a nationally recognized institution focused on developing character, confidence, and patriotism among the nation's youth. As the Cadet Force celebrates this milestone anniversary, members are reflecting not only on its rich history and traditions, but also on how far the organization has come and the impact it continues to have across Trinidad and Tobago. This morning, we speak with Major Randall Lucis, Cadet Wallace, and Cadet Pear. Good morning.
Morning.
Now, when you look back at the history, Major, of the Cadet Force, how remarkable is it that, the journey from the beginning to where it stands today at 116 years?
Good morning. The Cadet Force started in 1910. Two schools in Trinidad at St. Mary's College and Queen's Royal College. And back then it was mainly a military organization focusing on drills and military style operations. And over the years we have evolved. We have a rich history and we have evolved over the decades from a more traditional military oriented youth organization into a more comprehensive leadership and character development institution. And many former cadets have gone on to serve with distinction in many spheres of life: the armed service, the armed forces, education, law enforcement, public service, and the private industry. So we have a legacy of performance, building the youth of our nation.
Yeah. And how has the organization evolved over the decades in terms of that training style, leadership, and even opportunities for cadets?
Right. So we have adapted significantly to meet the changing needs of our society, while we still uphold the traditional training such as drills and ceremonial duties. We have a greater emphasis now on leadership training, community service, technology, adventurous training, disaster preparedness, and personal development. So we aim to produce a well-rounded citizen equipped to deal with modern society.
Yeah, definitely. And what would you say are some of the Cadet Force's greatest accomplishments over the last century?
We have showed up for two major world events, World War I and World War II. We have had members, back then we were called the Trinidad Cadet Corps. And there were two other events in Trinidad, the Black Power Revolution in 1970 and in 1990, where we showed up and we assisted the powers to assist in restoring law and order in Trinidad. We have many other milestones over the years. Our cadets have gone on to all the various areas of society and have done, pretty well and made themselves proud.
Yeah, definitely. And in what ways, would you say that the force itself has contributed to national development and youth empowerment in Trinidad and Tobago?
So I want to go back to what I had said earlier with respect to training.
Yes.
And how we have adapted to the changing needs of society. So our training has gone on to include national camps, adventurous training, first aid, public speaking, cadets' involvement in cultural activities, sports, environmental projects, community outreach programs, such as the Power Gen Special Children's Sports. So what happened is that we have equipped our cadets with life skills, and those skills they carry it in their adult life, and then they use that skill to pursue a future for themselves.
Yeah. Wow, just wow. And would you say that the role of cadets changed from earlier generations to what we have in today's cadets, and how has the role changed for our cadets?
So one of the areas, so there's the Community Emergency Response Team, also known as CERT. We have had cadets in recent times being qualified in those areas. And for example, in emergencies, natural disasters and so on, we have had the floods in 2018. We had cadets showing up, the naval arm of the cadet force showing up to assist people in getting out of homes and into safety. The cadets who are CERT qualified, they are able to do first aid, rescue, they can operate power saws, they can assist, and we have been called out on many occasions, and even from a remote sense, as recent as the Hurricane Melissa in 2025 in Jamaica, and the volcano eruptions in St. Vincent. What we have done was we have instilled that humanitarian aspect into cadets so that they understand that there is a greater need of service, not only for themselves and their nation, but on a wider, a more macro involvement.
Yeah, definitely. And for our cadets who are here with us this morning, hearing about the long history of the Cadet Force, what does it feel like to now be a part of that legacy?
Hearing about the Cadet Force long history makes me feel proud and honored to be a part of something much bigger than myself.
Yeah.
Knowing that generations before me wore the same uniform, followed the same values, and represented the organization with discipline gives me a strong sense of responsibility and belonging.
Wow.
It feels like I'm continuing a legacy built on leadership, service, and commitment.
And, along those lines, does knowing that the organization existed for 116 years inspire you differently as a cadet?
Yes, knowing that the organization has existed for 116 years inspires me differently as a cadet. It shows that the Cadet Force has stood the test of time because of the positive impact it had on young people and the nation.
Yeah.
It motivates me to take my role more serious and appreciate the opportunities and lessons and the experiences that comes with being a cadet.
Mm-hmm. And even for the viewers looking on, how would you all say has, the Cadet Force helped shape your character and confidence in life?
I think the Cadet Force has helped shape my character and confidence in numerous ways, such as discipline and integrity through drill and field training exercises, which encourages you to not only have a military aspect, but a mental aspect.
Wow. And now a lot of persons probably look on and they think cadets are so strict, or there's so many rulings to it, but hearing you say that it actually helps with that discipline, it really does shed a light on newfound lights that persons were not aware of. And also, what do you think has allowed the Cadet Force to remain relevant for so many generations? Any of my cadets can answer.
I think the Cadet Force has remained relevant for so many years, so many generations, because it continues to build young people into responsible and confident leaders. It provides structure, life skills, disciplines, and opportunities that help a cadet grow personally and socially. The organization it adapts with the times while still holding on to the important traditions and values.
Yeah. Now, Major, as he highlighted, holding on to the times and stuff, what are some of the traditions that have remained strong throughout, the organization's history?
The Trinidad and Tobago Cadet Force has, over the years, held on very strongly to drills and ceremonial parades and so on. We are very focused on that. In fact, on Saturday, the 23rd, we are having our drill competition, which would be a competition among battalions to determine who is the best battalion in the Cadet Force with respect to drill. Now, there is a lot of buzz and excitement in the force now, because now and 50 years ago and maybe 100 years ago, we held on very strongly to that ceremonial aspect.
Yeah.
So that has passed on over the years. And even though we have held strongly to those traditions, we are also an organization that builds the purpose and belonging into the individual. So cadets feel a lot of pride with respect to drill, with respect to wearing their uniform. We look at these two cadets this morning and you can see that they are well turned out and they are happy to wear their uniform.
Yeah.
So that is something that young people, studies have shown that young people love that sense of belonging and an opportunity to develop themselves. And the Cadet Force is a stage where that is, expressed very nicely.
Yeah. And I love that you said it. There's that shift, that happened throughout. So how has the Cadet Force really adapted to modern challenges while still maintaining that discipline and structure?
So we there's this challenge of the social media, and we have all the different influences of the young people today.
Yeah.
And what we have realized is that sense of belonging has impacted on our cadets in such a way that they are actually happy to participate in all our activities, our celebrations. We do cleanup campaigns, we do charity initiatives, we support during times of need. And that sense of belonging has always worked well in getting our young people to adapt and to be involved and to be part of the organization. When we do sports, we do public speaking. We recently in December had a public speaking event at Queen's Hall, at the Town Hall in Port of Spain.
Yeah.
And it's still on YouTube. And if you take some time and you view the quality of speaking and the topics that they engaged in, you would realize that these cadets have really turned a new chapter compared to what we have done in the past. So they are more outspoken now, right? They express themselves, and that is the generation that we deal with, the Gen X and the Gen Zs.
Yeah.
They are very outspoken, and we have to adapt to the changes of the new generation. So my generation, the Gen X, we were quiet. We were more prone to be quiet and listen, comply and complain. But in this generation, they want that opportunity to express themselves. And that public speaking event was awesome. And I want to congratulate the organizers for actually bringing that to the organization. That was an excellent initiative.
Wow, just wow. And, can you share with us what impact have former cadets, gone on to make in wider society?
So there are countless examples of former cadets who have now become leaders in the military, the police service, education sector, and so on. So I could just name a few. I jotted down some. Yeah. Mr. Gavin Madera, the former CEO of Caribbean Airlines. Mr. Wayne Meister, the Assistant Commissioner of Police and the officer in charge of the Municipal Police. Archbishop Joseph Harris, a member of the clergy. Mr. Ken Gordon, a media mogul, a former CDS, Air Vice Marshal Darrell Daniel, Mr. Wayne Sturge, MP, Minister of Defense, Mr. Claude May, Commissioner of Police, former student of QRC, and the list goes on and on and on.
Wow.
We don't have time to mention everyone, but this was just a little snippet of some of our outstanding past cadets.
Wow, just wow. And, for the cadets hearing that list, how do you hope to contribute to the future of the organization during your time as a cadet?
I hope to be a positive example to the younger cadets by demonstrating charismatic leadership, where they can trust me and come to me with certain issues, and they can also have respect for me and uphold the values of the cadet force.
Yeah. And even so, along those lines, what do you think today's cadets can learn from those who served before them?
Certain values such as discipline, integrity, to name two.
Yes. Okay, great. And Major, back to being a part of preserving that legacy, how important would you say it is to preserve the legacy and the history of the cadet force for future generations?
First of all, the celebration is really a humbling milestone for us. When I joined the cadet force, we were on the 84th anniversary, and now I saw, I ushered in the 100th anniversary, and now we're on the 116.
Wow.
That is humbling. That is humbling in that I have seen the cadet force, change and morph over the years, for the better, of course. It's a legacy of service. It's a legacy of discipline, leadership, nation building. That has impacted generations throughout Trinidad and Tobago. So professionally, it's a reminder for me that I have a responsibility, and my colleagues as officers and adult staff, to continue shaping the lives of young people and preserving the standards and traditions of this, distinguished organization. And as the sergeant said earlier, even for us as adults, it's an honor to wear the uniform. It's an honor for us to carry out the tradition of our former commanding officers and senior officers. So it's really something, if you are in it, you will understand how passionate we are about it, that we are making a change in developing young people. And for every cadet that we train, that is one less deviant person in society.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, what message would you give to young people who may be considering joining the cadet force?
Do not miss the opportunity. We have the naval aspect, we have the aviation cadets, we have the infantry cadets, we have the band. So if you're musically inclined, or you like the sea, or you like the air, or you just like the infantry, there are so many opportunities that are available. We have President's Award, we have a list of things that I mentioned to you earlier, public speaking and first aid and so on. Get in and join. You will not regret being part of our organization.
Absolutely. And as the organization celebrates 116 years, what vision do you have for its future?
Well, I want to start with the music band and steel orchestra. They have really excelled in the past few years. And, years ago we had cadets who played music. Now we have cadets who read music. They can look at a manuscript and they can play. One of my personal dreams is to actually see the Trinidad and Tobago Cadet Force Band involved in the mass band at the Independence Parade with all the other services. I don't want to name them, it's a lot. I would love to see that. And with respect to the broader organization, I would like to see the organization grow from strength to strength. It is a very costly organization, and sometimes, equipment and resources are a bit limited. So my dream is that we would be, blessed with a little more resources and a little more equipment so that we can do the job at hand. And on a more macro scale, I would like us to be, equals to some of the greater nations that have cadets, like the UK, Canada, and the US. I would like us to really be, very close to that benchmark. That's my dream for the cadet force.
Absolutely. Now, thank you so much, Major Randall, for coming on, Sergeant Wallace and Corporal Pay for coming and letting the public know that it's not just what they may look on and see, but it's way more than that. And you do gain way more insight, way more character, way more discipline going forward in life. And you turn out to do some real immaculate things from that listing that Major was able to just share with us. So it really is an eye-opener for persons watching in, and they want to be a part of the cadet force, but they may have some questions. I hope we were able to answer those questions this morning and let them know that you can take the opportunity to be a part of something bigger than yourself. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for the opportunity to be able to share some of our ideas with you.
Yes, definitely. Now, guys, as we wrap up today's show, we hope that these conversations, were able to touch you in a special way and really make that difference where you get to shift your mindset from where it once was to now a new perspective on things. And as I always say to end, you have to stay safe, stay positive, stay informed. Up next, we do have Sean Michael Small at 8 with Talking Point. And, you don't want to come back for that. And I'll see you again tomorrow morning. Bye.
WESN. Bill and Ruth fell in love with the Benjamin Moore color Dry Sage, but they tried to match it using another brand's paint.
I mean, it's close enough.
Almost identical,
Really? Yeah, there it is.
Never trust another paint to be a Benjamin Moore color.
Are you driven, ambitious, and ready to earn? WESN, the content capital, is expanding, and we're looking for dynamic media sales executives to join our team. Sell powerful advertising solutions across television, digital, and social media platforms, and help brands tell their story. If you have strong communication skills, a passion for sales, and the drive to succeed, join WESN today. Send your CV to marketing@wsncc.com or WhatsApp 686162 and start building your future.